I keep telling myself I'm going to smoke weed on camera now that it's illegal to celebrate the silly weed smoker proud culture in stoner metal circles, but I'm such a wimp now that I'm a lawyer. I used to have a cannabis corpse shirt with a decapitated cop head made into a bong. Now I dress like a 30-year-old trying to prevent any further aging through sheer force of floral prints. Welcome to Daily Metal, where every day a different metal album gets dissected for your sadistic listening pleasure. I'm the heavy metal lawyer, Emma, and in this show I'll talk about why the music in these albums is so good and where they fall in the history of music's most wretched genre. A desert on a hot summer day is just one of those things you have to experience to understand. The heat is so intense, it feels like the air around you is viscous with warmth. And you have that same kind of urgent fear when you put your hand too close to an open flame, except you can't just draw your hand back in quick to get away from it. Which, by the way, if you're ever trying to quit smoking, I highly suggest moving to the American Southwest. A week in Las Vegas made me commit to foregoing the cancer sticks, despite, them being $8 less than they were in New York City. Anyways, the closest thing you can get to desert heat without going to the desert yourself is the band Caius, especially on their magnum opus that came out today, June 28th, in 1994, Welcome to Sky Valley. The album cover is a direct communication to the listener. You're leaving your normal life and entering a new world. The twilight of the sky betrays the surreal nature of what lies ahead, and the scene of the open road gives the ideal route to enter Welcome to Sky Valley. For those who miss the symbolic and subliminal guidance, Caius writes in the liner notes of the album, "Listen without distraction." I cannot overstate how important it is to heed the advice of the band. In any odyssey into the depths of the shallow worlds on the edge of reality, one must plan ahead and not resist the experience nor try to box it in to your preferences. You would never take LSD and then go to your pre-scheduled court appearance 5 minutes later. Similarly, you should never go to Welcome to Sky Valley without a plan to listen to music for 15 minutes or so uninterrupted, at least. While you probably look at the album on iTunes or Spotify and see 10 tracks, the CD was originally released as 3 tracks, with Gardenia, Asteroid, and Supa Scupa as track 1, 100 Degrees, Space Cadet, and Demon Cleaner as track 2, and Odyssey, Conan Troutman, N.O., and Whitewater as track 4. The first word I'd use to describe these tracks is fuzz. The font of the band's name on the album is the perfect visual description. Fuzz pervades almost every inch of the album, from the loosened snare jumps splattering about to the namesake fuzz pedal of the guitar, to the warbling 90s moan of John Garcia. An inexperienced cosmonaut venturing into Caius might think Garcia's vocals could be more adventurous or ambitious, which completely misunderstands the music. Caius isn't about virtuosity or mastery. It's about finding a feeling of music through an intimate embrace of it. For that kind of music, Garcia's vocals are the Saint Bernard to guide the listener Dante through the inferno. However, the band's commitment to taking its time to explore riffs should not be misconstrued as a lack of flexibility. Space Cadet showcases a versatility with embracing quiet and soft psychedelic sounds that few other stoner metal bands can replicate. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is Ohm, like the beginning of Thebes on their album God is Good, though that's a very different kind of soft sound. Ohm's sound is a trance, if you couldn't guess from the band's name, whereas Caius is all about that groove. Now, we aren't talking funk, platform boots dancing the night away kind of groove. We're talking more like Howlin' Wolf kind of groove. Bluesy as fuck, working a riff to death so your audience can explore all its textures and folds, every inch of it, adding an imperfect note or a couple of extra ones to keep them guessing whether or not they have figured out this riff yet. The breakdown in Odyssey has the listener almost fade away entirely out of existence before being launched back into the charging of the fuzz guitar and Garcia's grunting, like when you fall asleep at the wheel late at night and are all of a sudden jolted awake. And like many stoner albums, Sky Valley ends with its most epic track, Whitewater. So who would you credit as the first stoner metal band? And do you think the genre is best appreciated by listening to the albums in full or wearing headphones? Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you like this video, please subscribe so you can find out what the metal album of the day is, why it is so brutal, and where it fits in the history of the genre.